Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. And what you are looking at is a 2015 Toyota Tacoma pickup truck. Every once in a while I'll be asked about how it's doing, how it's holding up, what do I think? Well, it is now 5 years old. It just turned 5. It has 40,000 miles on it. This has the little 4-cylinder in it with an automatic 2-wheel drive. Air conditioning, cruise control, fancy radio, you know, extended cab, I guess that's called, extra cab, whatever. I've been very happy with this truck. For the 5 years and 40,000 miles I've owned it, the only thing I've had to do with it is put in gas and take it in for inspections and oil changes. No brakes, no tires. This truck, not that it works all the time for a living, but generally speaking, a lot of its 40,000 miles, it's had quite a bit of weight on it. As an example, this hammerhead weighs, depending on where you look and so forth, it weighs probably around 650 pounds, plus the ramps. This thing has about 700 pounds on it. And once again, I put that kind of weight on it and I take it everywhere. I don't worry about it. It just deals with it. I've had more weight on it. I've probably had up over 1,200 pounds on it. And I have to admit, once you start getting it to the load point, you know, that 1,200 pound load point, it's working for a living. What I like about the truck is it gets just about 25 miles to the gallon. Last time I filled it up, it came in just barely at 25. I mean, right there, right on the number. That's not bad, especially when most of the time there's at least something in the back. The cab always seems to be full, and there's always something in the back. I like it that now that it's 5, and once again, I haven't had to put a brake pad or a light bulb into it. I've changed the wipers a few times, but that's to be expected. I mean, it's really been rock solid. I've had all the service done at Toyota. You might say, why? Because you like getting ripped off? No. The service on it, actually, they gave me the first 2 years for free. And then they gave me a bunch of coupons, so you know, the oil changes and everything else are very, very reasonable. And my neighbor's son is the service manager up there. So, you know, they're not sitting up there and, you know, doing alignments on it when it doesn't need alignments, or changing air cleaners when it doesn't need an air cleaner change, you know. It's, I do very well with that. By the way, I bought it at Prestige in Kingston. I've been very satisfied with the service there. As a matter of fact, that car came from there, and my son's white one came from there. I mean, we bought a lot of our cars up there. They've been very good with us. I've been happy that I've been able to put 40,000 miles on these tires, and they're still good enough to drive on and still good enough to get through inspection. So that says a lot for the alignment, and it says a lot for the quality of the tires. If I had to say a couple of negative things about this truck, first of all, it is thin. It is really thin. It really takes nothing to dent it. Right here, I don't know, could you guys see that dent? You can kind of see it right there. I had to take something heavy out of it, so I was leaned in and kind of pulling something heavy out, and it was my stomach that did that dent. If the truck if you were throwing stuff in and out of the truck and all that, I'd worry about it. The bed is made out of plastic, and it is 5 years old, and it's actually held up better than a lot of my friends' trucks who have metal beds. Their metal beds are all dented up and banged up and so forth. And some of them treat their trucks a lot better than I treat my trucks. So that point of view, it's held up. Rust, I am noticing under the hood where the shocks go and so forth, a couple little spots of rust. It's not like the frame's going to fall out of it or anything. Once again, just a couple little spots that should get some attention. Annoying things, these Corollas, and there are a few of them in my fleet, they all have thermometers in them. You can tell what the outside temperature is. There's a thermometer on the dashboard by the odometer. This doesn't have that, and I really like that feature, so that's kind of annoying. Also, the truck doesn't have intermittent wipers. You either have high or low, or you gotta pulse it with your finger. You gotta keep hitting the stick to make the wipers pulse. So that's annoying. I mean, major things, no, but those things, yes. It's got 40,000 on it. I'm not exactly a lightweight. The seat, driver's side, passenger side, they're both holding up well. They're fairly comfortable, more comfortable than this 16 Corolla, as a matter of fact. About the same amount of comfort as the 05 Corolla. All in all, I've been very, very happy with this truck. As a matter of fact, when it was in getting inspection, I was asking about a Tundra, and they very, very quickly wanted to get this one back. It seems that there's not a problem. If you want to sell a Tacoma, you know, clean, always serviced Tacoma, they want that back yesterday. I was warned that if I do get a Tundra, I better get used to the idea of half the gas mileage, 15 or so. That it's really just not going to be very good on fuel. I'm told also they don't make these in two-wheel drive anymore. This is a two-wheel drive, which is kind of a rarity now. I guess everybody wants the four-wheel drive because they're going to rough and rugged it. You know, could have gone for the four-wheel drive. Would have been another $5,000 out the door, and it probably would have cost me, you know, 4 or 5, 6 miles to the gallon on fuel. Would have slowed the truck down a little more, would have made it a little heavier, you know, which would have made the 6-cylinder tempting, which would have taken away a little more gas mileage. I don't know. It's got the 4-cylinder. 4-cylinder works. The two-wheel drive works. I like that 25 miles to the gallon. So let's you know, there's trade-offs to everything. If I would have got the 6-cylinder 4-wheel drive, let's say I got a deal on it, I would be whining about the gas mileage, right? If I would have bought the Tundra, I'd be whining about the gas mileage. I'd be saying, boy, I wish I got that 4-cylinder. To make it more useful to me, I really should put a Class 3 trailer hitch on it and start towing the Tractor Supply trailer, because then I could put 2 or 3 all-terrain vehicles on the Tractor Supply trailer and another one on this, and that would take some of the weight off its back. Once again, though, with this 700 pounds or whatever this piece of junk weighs, it seemed to do pretty well for me. So, how do I feel? I gotta say, I'm happy. I really am happy with the truck. About the color white, some people hate white. The reason why I bought a white truck and, you know, no fancy wheels or anything like that is because the cops, like, don't notice you. As long as you're not doing crazy, silly stuff. I mean, who notices a white truck? Who notices a white Corolla, right? You know, they're just like in the background. There's a million of them out there. Nobody notices. And I just as soon be unnoticed. So if anybody has any specific questions on it, let me know. Once again, 5 years, 40,000 miles. It's been absolutely perfect. 25 miles to the gallon. It goes up the hills, but the transmission downshifts. And the engine whines a little bit, but it does run up them hills, so can't complain too much. Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody for dropping by to watch and comment and subscribe. Please remember to keep your feet down, your heads up, and get out and enjoy each and every day. Bye now.